Muhammad Ali, born Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr., was an Olympic and world champion boxer who also had a unique personality based on self-belief and strong religious and political convictions. In 1999, Ali was crowned Sportsman of the Century by Sports Illustrated. He won the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship 3 times, and won the North American Boxing Federation Championship, as well as an Olympic gold medal. I'm not the greatest. I'm the double greatest. Not only do I knock em out, I pick the round. Ali was born in Louisville, Kentucky in 1942. He was named after his father, Cassius Marcellus Clay Sr., who was named after the 19th century abolitionist and politician, Cassius Clay. Ali would later change his name after joining the Nation of Islam. He subsequently converted to Sunni Islam in 1975. Standing at 6 feet 3, Ali had a highly unorthodox style for a heavyweight boxer. Rather than the normal boxing style of carrying the hands high to defend the face, he instead relied on his quick feet and ability to avoid a punch. In Louisville, October 29, 1960, Cassius Clay won his first professional fight. He won a 6-round decision over Tunney Hunsaker, who was the police chief of Fayetteville, West Virginia. From 1960 to 1963, the young fighter amassed a record of 19-0, with 15 knockouts. He defeated such boxers as Tony Esperti, Jim Robinson, Donnie Fleeman, Alonzo Johnson, George Logan, Willie Bismanoff, Lamar Clark, who had won his previous 40 bouts by knockout, Doug Jones, and Henry Cooper. Among Clay's victories were versus Sonny Banks, who knocked him down during the bout, Alejandro Lavorante, and the aged Archie Moore, a boxing legend who had fought over 200 previous fights, and who had been Clay's trainer prior to Angelo Dundee. This was a typical build-up for Ali, who increasingly enjoyed playing to the crowd and creating a buzz before a fight. It was good news for fight promoters, who saw increased interest in any fight involving the bashful Ali. In 1964, Ali failed the Armed Forces qualifying test because his writing and spelling skills were inadequate. However, in early 1966, the tests were revised, and Ali was reclassified 1A. He refused to serve in the United States Army during the Vietnam War as a conscientious objector, because war is against the teachings of the Holy Quran. I'm not trying to dodge the draft. We are not supposed to take part in no wars unless declared by Allah or the Messenger. Ali's actions in refusing military service and aligning himself with the Nation of Islam made him a lightning rod for controversy, turning the outspoken but popular former champion into one of that era's most recognizable and controversial figures. Appearing at rallies with Nation of Islam leader Elijah Muhammad and declaring his allegiance to him at a time when mainstream America viewed them with suspicion, if not outright hostility, made Ali a target of outrage and suspicion as well. Ali seemed at times to even provoke such reactions, with viewpoints that wavered from support for civil rights to outright support of separatism. Near the end of 1967, Ali was stripped of his title by the Professional Boxing Commission and would not be allowed to fight professionally for more than 3 years. He was also convicted for refusing induction into the army and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Over the course of those years in exile, Ali fought to appeal his conviction. He stayed in the public spotlight and supported himself by giving speeches, primarily at rallies, on college campuses that opposed the Vietnam War. In 1970, Ali was finally able to get a boxing license. With the help of a state senator, he was granted a license to box in Georgia, because it was the only state in America without a boxing commission. In October 1970, he returned to stop Jerry Quarry on a cut after 3 rounds. Shortly after the Quarry fight, the New York State Supreme Court ruled that Ali was unjustly denied a boxing license. Once again, able to fight in New York, he fought Oscar Bonavena at Madison Square Garden in December 1970. After a tough 14 rounds, Ali stopped Bonavena in the 15th, paving the way for a title fight against Joe Frazier. Ali was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in the early 1980s, following which his motor functions began a slow decline. Although Ali's doctors disagreed during the 1980s and 1990s about whether his symptoms were caused by boxing and whether or not his condition was degenerative, he was ultimately diagnosed with pugilistic Parkinson's syndrome. By late 2005, it was reported that Ali's condition was notably worsening. Ali was asked about whether he has any regrets about boxing due to his disability. He responded that if he didn't box, he would still be a painter in Louisville, Kentucky. Speaking of his own Parkinson's disease, Ali remarks how it has helped him to look at life in a different perspective. Maybe my Parkinson's is God's way of reminding me what is important. It slowed me down and caused me to listen rather than talk. Actually, people pay more attention to me now because I don't talk as much. On September 13, 1999, Ali was named Kentucky Athlete of the Century by the Kentucky Athletic Hall of Fame in ceremonies at the Gould House East. He received the Presidential Medal of Freedom at a White House ceremony on November 9, 2005, and the prestigious Otto Hahn Peace Medal in gold on the United Nations Association of Germany in Berlin for his work with the U.S. Civil Rights Movement and the United Nations. Muhammad Ali died on the 3rd of June 2016 from a respiratory illness, a condition that was complicated by Parkinson's disease. Will they ever have another fighter who writes poems, predicts rounds, beats everybody, makes people laugh, makes people cry, and is as tall and extra pretty as me? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.